Here's some good news for a change. Donald's vindictiveness is destroying Republican morale. Hooray. Um, his leadership has become so erratic that the fact that the Republicans control all three branches of government is being squandered. And he himself is becoming an increasingly weakened figure whom no one fears. Things are so bad that many Republicans are actually considering resigning, leaving Democrats with a path to flip the House of Representatives before the midterms are even held. Much of this turmoil stems from Donald's treatment of Georgia Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. Last week, she announced her plan to resign from Congress. At one time in the not too distant past, Greene was actually one of Donald's most ardent supporters. But recently, he turned on her over her support for the release of the Epstein files, which you'll remember is something he not only supported but promised to do during the 2024 campaign. And then when Greene criticized Donald's failure to deliver on his campaign promises, things went south quickly. The New Republic reports that Greene recently took Donald to task in a Twitter post. She wrote, quote, "Everyone just runs their mouths, but results are the only thing that matter to the American people. Smears, lies, attacks, and name calling is childish behavior, divisive and bad for our country. Memes and red meat rants do nothing. Actions speak louder than words," unquote, says the Jewish laser beam space person. Anyway, clearly Greene knows of what she speaks because she is somebody who has engaged in all of those things she's now bemoaning: childish behavior, divisive attacks, smear campaigns, lies, etc., etc. So that Twitter post was apparently her response to something Donald had said about her on his failing social media site. He posted in part, quote, "Marjorie Trader Brown, because of plummeting poll numbers and not wanting to face a primary challenger with a strong Donald endorsement, where she would have no chance of winning, has decided to call it quits. Her relationship with the worst Republican congressman in decades, Tom Massey of Kentucky, also known as Rand Paul Jr. because he votes against the Republican Party and really good legislation, did not help her," unquote. Well, at least Donald's ability to give people stupid nicknames has not been diminished. Recently, Donald commented on Greene's impending resignation during one of his chopper chats. Here's what he had to say, if you can hear him.
Are you willing to forgive Congresswoman Taylor Greene?
Forgive for what? No, I just disagreed with her philosophy. She started backing perhaps the worst Republican congressman in our history, this stupid person named Massey. And I said, go your own way. And once I left her, she resigned because she would never have survived a primary. But I think she's a nice person.
Well, I would have destroyed her life, but she's a very nice person. Also, to say that Marjorie Taylor Greene has a philosophy of any kind is a bit much to take. But it turns out that attacking and threatening a longtime loyalist who disagree with you about one thing is bad for party morale. The Daily Beast reports that one anonymous ranking member of Congress gave a scathing review of Donald's so-called leadership and Mike Johnson's spinelessness. This unidentified congressperson told the press, in part, quote, "This entire White House team has treated all members like garbage, all. And Mike Johnson has let it happen because he wanted it to happen. More explosive early resignations are coming. It's a tinderbox. Morale has never been lower. Mike Johnson will be stripped of his gavel and they will lose the majority before this term is out," unquote, to which I say, hooray. If only it could have happened sooner. Now, why indeed are the Republicans sticking it out, given the fact that Donald has shown himself completely capable of turning on them at the slightest hint that they are not 100% loyal to him? Now, forcing members to resign midterm in advance of probably the most critically important election of our lifetime is one strategy. That is one way for a president to handle the leadership of his party, a party, again, that controls the executive branch, the legislative branch, and much of the judicial branch, a party that has a complete lock on control of the federal government. And all of that power, again, is being squandered by Donald's inability to lead, his inability to hold his coalition together. Why? Because nobody is allowed to disagree with him about anything. And if they do, their lives and their professions must be destroyed. Who wouldn't want to be a part of that? Yeah. So I look forward to seeing just how many Republicans resign before the midterms, handing the gavel over to Hakeem Jeffries. But before we go on, Donald is squandering all of his advantages, so it is even more important for us to keep the pressure on. So please like and share this video, and if you believe in our mission, please subscribe to the Mary Trump Media channel. Now, these developments make things look grim for Republicans' prospects in the upcoming midterms, because seriously, if they lose the majority before the midterms, I don't think blue tsunami is too much to consider as a possibility next November. Fox reports that currently the GOP controls the House by just 6 seats. There are currently several vacancies and a series of special elections scheduled between December and April. While Republicans are expected to hold some of these seats, special elections are known to be unpredictable, particularly in the kinds of volatile times we're living through. Special elections often act as early referenda on a president's political standing and can be something of a bellwether. And we know that Donald's increasingly weak as the days go on. Each of these contests has the potential to narrow the GOP's majority even further. And again, there's every indication that if all goes to plan, the 2026 midterms could indeed be a wave election, which means that instead of the Republicans having the House by a razor-thin majority, the Democrats could end up with a 30, 40, or even 50-seat majority in the House, which also would increase the possibility that Democrats, in a year that does not look good for them, simply because of the Senate seats that are up for re-election, the Democrats could actually take over a majority of the Senate, and maybe, just maybe this time, they'll actually do something with it. Here's hoping. Anyway, as Donald gets weaker, he will lash out more, he will threaten more, and more Republicans will decide, as Marjorie Greene did, that they are no longer willing to take it from somebody to whom they have given everything. Please take a second and like and share this video. It'd be awesome if you could subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to us in podcast form, please follow us and give the show a 5-star rating, because it really does help other people find our content. Thanks.